The following podcast is brought to you by the Johners Podcasting Network, found exclusively at WrestlingWithJohners.com.
Welcome to the Bucklebomb Entertainment. We are live with Orlando and with Gary Joe.
Okay, sorry about that, folks. Oh, did it just mute us? Wait. Oh, there he goes. Okay, we're good now. Go ahead.
I mean, I no other words needed really for our introduction.
You know, all I'm gonna say is I think Gunther from Friends is more over than this guy. All of a sudden, I think Friends is part of a Peacock little viewing as well, so this makes sense to call him Gunther,
okay.
right?
To play kind of devil's advocate for them, I don't know why I'm going to do that. Here's the thing. See, they're probably thinking, oh, wait, Stark. What does everybody think about Stark? Iron Man, Marvel, Disney, the Avengers. So,
It's fine.
I know.
It's fine. It's fine. Next week on NXT 2.0, Gunther!
Oh, my God. I saw that picture. I cannot believe somebody actually did that. Oh, my God.
Yeah, guys. I said on Sean Balley's little comment section of his show, Topics of Choice, this past weekend, and he had a topic, and obviously it was about, Walter going to the NXT 2.0 brand, and immediately I said in the comment, good luck with that, because obviously when you're in Vince's control, he's going to make things change immediately, and that's what they did here. I mean, I really don't understand it. I really don't know why they do this. I mean, it's like the whole thing with Braun Breaker, it just, they're never going to change his last name to Steiner or whatever. But this is the absolute worst.
Come on now. It's WWE. They want to own everything. So that's the reason why they're doing this. They want to own the name. They want to own the brand. They want to own everything. So that's the reason why they're doing this. They don't want to, because Walter, he literally had that probably outside of WWE. So they're just like, screw that. I want to own the name. So I was just like, here's the name we're giving you. So,
I mean, the timing couldn't be any worse either, dude, because I know this is not Big Swole, but people saying, well, AEW is diverse. Well, where there isn't an offensive name for Walter, Gunther, or whatever. I'm sorry. It just...
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. This is two different conversations.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Sorry. No, come on now. Look, when it comes to here's the thing. I think what's the problem? It's just it's the American thing, Luke, so that you are aware. Is just that sometimes some people forget about history, and it's like, oh, let's give him this name because it's kind of close to his heritage and stuff. So they don't really realize that name has some sort of meaning. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah. I've stayed quiet for the past 2 or 3 minutes. I've let you guys talk because I've curled up in a ball and there is a new depth to WWE today, and no one would have thought that they would be reaching it so soon into the new year. Walter was a behemoth. Walter was a machine. He was the last remnant of what a physical wrestler is, and what he brought to the table from start to finish in NXT UK, in the indie scenes, his debut against Pete Dunne in Blackpool, his arrival on the NXT UK scene, getting that title off Pete Dunne after his 600-day reign in New York, his run of nearly 800 something days, one of the longest title reigns in modern WWE history. His debut in Survivor Series 2019 to the main roster, he took it to Braun Strowman. Mm-hmm. His 5-star matches with Ilya Dragunov.
I mean, okay, so Sean Waltman decided to tweet about like his experience when they took his name. I'm like, you had a different character altogether. So there is nothing compared to that. Walter's still the same. It's just that now he has like a new name. So it's just like if he completely changed his whole gimmick, everything, then that's different,
Oh,
But
he will next week. We will next week. We best believe it will be coming out to different music, different. Like he'll be wearing lederhosen. He'll be like eating German sausage, and he'll have a polka band behind him. He will be. It's the NXT 2.0 curse. We're all expecting it, but ultimately, after a stellar performance against Roderick Strong,
oh, that
here is
match
your
was
winner.
amazing.
My name is Gunther. I mean, come on. Come on.
Well, okay. So when I first heard that people were talking about, like he said, Gunther, I'm like, I didn't hear that because I kind of didn't pay attention because I really enjoyed the match. I thought he was saying something in his native tongue, so I had to rewatch it again. And so that he said Gunther, I'm like, oh wait, didn't they do a trademark about Gunther Stark? I'm like, oh no. And then everybody's talking about that, so I was just like, oh no.
Yeah,
And,
like it was brutal, man. And obviously, I tuned in because of the match for Walter, and then all of a sudden, I hear him say that. There was like literally to no reaction. I mean, people were probably like, "What the hell did we just hear?" So that made the
well,
match.
technically, that's when Imperial came in and they started attacking. So
Still though, man, still presentation means everything, and
yeah.
Like a lethal chop by Walter, the damage is done and it
I
hit
think
hard.
okay. Here's the thing that I think a lot of people need to realize is that I think WWE is trying to see who can adapt or who can kind of be a chameleon because like I only see like a handful can really pull it off. Not everybody can do it, unfortunately. And I think like that's the going to be the big issue with WWE, where it's just like where they're trying to find that big one star. Like Braun Breaker right now, he's like right now the best thing in NXT right now. You know, so I'm just wondering who's he gonna face, who's he gonna. Well, I mean, like now that we know who's he gonna be facing, which is Escobar, which I'm excited about that. Like Escobar is kind of like probably gonna give him an excellent match. So
I mean, if they're up for it, Braun Breaker
well,
versus Gunther, by the time they give us a WrestleMania takeover, if they so choose to carry on with takeovers, give it to me. I'll take my money. But equally, the lore that Volta names, the name Volta itself over the years, I mean, it's been years that who's got their phone ringing?
whose phone is that?
it's my father's phone ringing. Just ignore it. It will shut off in a minute.
Sorry, we're live, folks. Excuse
Yeah,
us. Sorry about that.
sorry, your
Okay.
disappointment. Maybe I should have traded you
Okay, look.
for Joe
Now that they're getting okay, here's the thing right now. They're now getting the backlash. They didn't give him the last name yet. So I'm just wondering how long the backlash is going to be if they're going to just leave him with Gunther or they're going to just like now go back to Walter. Or like they're going to say something about like Gunther, like his past, like, I don't know. Because, okay, you got to remember, like, WWE likes to do racism. Like look what they did with Rusev, like praising the president of Russia. They did blackface years ago. They buried Booker T one time. So I mean,
and John Cena.
yeah. Well, I mean, come on now. There's a lot of white people that love rap music, but that's beside the point, anyways. Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah. So I mean, it's just like it's very common. So it's just like with WWE. So I'm not surprised they're gonna go that route. It's just it's I don't know. Then there's some people that are like defending it too. It's just like Gunther's just the name. I'm like, I'm like, really?
Dude, I tried to give them a benefit of a doubt every single time, but when you when you see this and just when we digest it, it always replays back what Mick Foley said. Why fix something that ain't broke? I'm always gonna stand true to that in the back of my head until they fix something that is never gonna just.
Look,
I don't know. I mean, I'm lost for words all the time when I think about this whole thing. Like,
it's the only way is just like if Vince is gone, that's the only way that things are going to change. And I doubt they're going to leave that to Triple H because Triple H is probably like disheartened of what Vince did to NXT. So it's just like, because where has he been? Like, what is he doing? Like, is he hiding in his office?
I don't think Triple H is even in the line of succession. It'll be Nick Khan will be next.
yep,
And
I
it's
agree.
Nick Khan's company because otherwise the whole working that Triple H has done to build NXT to be the brand that it was has been all wiped away since September, and it's falling apart.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've given enough eulogy to the death of arguably one of the greatest characters.
I mean,
modern
Walter
wrestling.
versus Ilya, those two matches will hold a good place in my heart as
Just,
one of the best matches ever. So.
I mean, a moment's silence, please, for just that's the future now.
Get that off! Get that off! I want to see him.
Let him stare into your soul. As disappointed
Coño.
as we all are. Should we talk about other wrestling news? Let's talk about things that have been happening the last week, as we normally do. And I want to start this week with Friday Night SmackDown, baby. Is Lita going to become SmackDown Women's Champion all of a sudden?
No, I want her at WrestleMania because I'm going to WrestleMania. I want to see her there. Give her at least she only had one match in that WrestleMania. Damn it. She needs another one. Damn it.
She can go. She can go.
Listen, I mean, like you could do like a little like extra little match for like one of the two nights. I mean, they need some extra matches. So I mean, Lita versus Shotzi, I wouldn't mind that. Lita versus Bailey. When Bailey comes back, Lita versus Sasha. I mean, if it doesn't have to be with the title, I mean, I wouldn't mind. So
Lita versus Mickey.
we'll get into that a little bit later. I have a little theory about that. So.
I am intrigued to hear that. But of course, we have more names added to the Royal Rumble this year. Of course, on the anniversary of the 1992 Royal Rumble, we'll be talking to you a little bit later. Let's go through the names that are currently listed, the runners and riders that will be taking us only next week now, only a week and a bit to go. We start with the women's side, and only two more names have been added since. Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan have now declared. I think we're up to 20 names out of 30.
I think it's 19 still. I don't know.
20. Let's say 20 for argument's sake. About 10 spots to go. Gary, who do you see picking out of the current 20 names who could go all the way?
Oh.
All right, then. Good gosh. I'm so sorry, guys. So with these names that are unknown at this moment, I totally see some great comebacks here. I see Lacey Evans returning. I see Asuka returning. She's cleared pretty much at this point. Gosh, like I definitely see some surprises in there as well. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to know who the winner will actually possibly be. And for once, I give WWE credit because on both men and women's Rumble, it's really, unpredictable. So, my personal opinion, who should win the Rumble? I mean, I would love to see her win it second year in a row, Bianca Belair. Because I felt like Bianca got, treated kind of dirty with Becky last year at SummerSlam. That's what I would like to see. And to go back about this previous comment about Lita, I don't want to see Lita in a title match personally. I think they need to build a star for the SmackDown brand for Charlotte. So, I mean, yeah, cool. Let Lita have a match. Maybe Lita and Trish against, maybe You know,
The
like
Bella
a Shotzi
twins.
Blackheart.
Would they be mad enough?
Oh,
Would they put the women's tag team titles on the line? Would that be mad enough?
Orlando
Bellas,
would be happy.
no, the Bellas are going after the tag belts. So I mean, like I could see them
What I'm
going after
saying, Lita and Trish against the Bella twins in the
Look, anything. Look, right now, what they're trying to do right now is trying to put more intrigue for WrestleMania because unfortunately, WrestleMania is a little dud. So so
Hey, it's the middle of January. Let's not worry about April for the time being. Let's stay focused on this side
no,
of the Rumble first. I
yeah.
mean,
So
it's still a long way to
yeah.
go.
Unfortunately for the men's, I have a fear that whoever loses the title match, like either Brock or Roman, they're gonna enter into the Royal Rumble and win it. That's how it's gonna be. Because they're still gonna try to do Brock versus Roman at WrestleMania because that's the story. So, because there's nobody else I see in the men's side that they built. I mean, like honestly, who else? Like I mean, I would love it if Big E won it. That'd be a great little thank you, but
Something tells me it's going to be Drew McIntyre, though. That's just a hunch with that one. I don't want to see them merge the world titles because that means getting people really lost in the shuffle from there. Because what's the point of doing a brand split then? I mean, just my opinion on that.
mhm.
But
I mean, let's not get too ahead of ourselves about that conversation. But what I can say is, Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss, Sami Zayn, Kofi Kingston, and KO Kevin Owens declared for the Rumble. So we are up to 15 names out of 30 for the men's Rumble and 21 for the women's Rumble. And as I did last week, the current odds for both Rumbles as of Thursday, the 20th of January, time of recording, is that Bianca Belair is favourite to win the Royal Rumble, followed by Bayley, Alexa Bliss, and Raquel Gonzalez. Of course, Raquel Gonzalez was the favourite as last week. And in the men's side, as Gary just did touch upon, Drew McIntyre is joint favourite along with Big E, though Brock Lesnar is 5-1 to go and win his first Royal Rumble since 2003. So there is, I feel like we're in for a ride between now and next Saturday.
They,
Still
they
can't
better they better
Saturday.
put off like the big surprises or something for this event because right now they already kind of spoiled the surprises. I think for the women's side, there's still probably one or two more left. I think Paige is coming back. I think she's probably trying to get cleared. You
Well,
know,
the tease, of course, isn't it, is that there's one Forbidden Door entrant that is going to blow everyone away, and that somebody will be spoken about in about 5 minutes' time with Gary. But don't you worry about that. But before we come back to that, we will talk a little bit about SmackDown and Raw, of course. Big time Bex going after Doudrop. Of course, Doudrop was a name that obviously people can talk about Piper Niven and her history in NXT UK, but we've just seen with this guy NXT UK means absolutely nothing. Don't worry. But what do we see going on with this? Because Becky Lynch has held that belt since August. Now, obviously, a good title reign is sort of measured by going from major to major, big four to big four, and how long that is between. Could Doudrop pull off an upset?
no, I'm sorry, no, I'm sorry, no. Now look, I love Piper Niven, but this is just a filler match, because they don't have any other women's match besides this one, and the Rumble match. So this is going to be a nice little showcasing for Piper just to show what she could do. Hit her moves to Becky, but Becky's going to pull off some sort of cheat win, like she always does, and then she'll retain. So I mean, I'll be utterly shocked if they decide for Becky to drop the belt to Piper. I mean, that would be a nice little surprise. because like technically, I don't think any of the title matches are changing hands. Honestly, you know.
Well, not necessarily. I think maybe possibly Rollins could pull the upset off, with Roman, hopefully, because I'm getting bored of Roman's title reign. But anyway, um, the whole thing with Becky and Doudrop, yeah, I totally agree with Orlando. There's not going to be a title change there. I mean, hopefully this gives, yeah, Doudrop Niven is what I'm going to call her now. At least give her a showcase match. I do agree with Orlando on that one too. I don't care if it's 15 minutes. At least give her something, because the women's division is so weak, guys. Like it's all around just really, really not piquing my interest whatsoever. I mean, like I said previously, who's got to possibly be in line for Charlotte? That's believable. For Becky, I mean, Liv Morgan had her chance, but until Liv Morgan can really cut a decent promo, maybe she would be a believable number one contender. That's why that's what I'm saying. I really think they need to put the belt back on Bianca. Get a revenge on Becky. But anyway, I don't even see Drew Doudrop Niven sniffing that title at all. No way.
I will come back to Seth Rollins in just a second. You just touched upon him, but I will just say we're seeing the vignettes of Alexa Bliss in counseling, still hanging on to that twisted character that obviously gave birth to, the Fiend. There will never be anybody like him ever again. But could we see Alexa Bliss getting back into the mix? Maybe at the Rumble, but if not after.
I think it's gonna be after because like I don't know what these vignettes are, but it doesn't seem like she's returning for the Rumble. I mean, she's back, but it's just like she's not gonna be wrestling yet. I think they're giving her like a couple of weeks until they decide what they want to do with her. Story wise, I don't know. Like honestly, like
I've always loved Alexa, so I really, really hope so. I mean, she hasn't held a title in quite some time, and this whole little, possible Fiend gimmick that she still has going on or whatever. That's what's really holding her back. So if in fact Bray does not even come back, what's the point of her still being in this position? So I feel so bad for Alexa. I really do.
So it's almost like she's crying out to go back to her original face gimmick. That's what she's crying out for.
She needs it. She absolutely needs it.
and after the crap that she dealt with for the past year, I think she deserves it because
Yeah.
I'm sorry, some of the fans are very disrespectful to her. It's not her damn fault that Bray Wyatt got fired and then they still gave her that gimmick, Like leave her alone,
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. But again, from one person being held back to one that's definitely been given free reign to run across Raw and SmackDown is Seth frickin' Rollins, and he's Cody God and challenger Lashley and Roman Reigns in the same week. I mean, you talk about unifying the titles. Could Seth Rollins be the man?
I mean, he's been the man before, so I mean, he ran the ball a couple of times, so I don't know. Right now, it's very weird right now because, like, technically, this was supposed to be Roman versus Brock at day one, and we were supposed to know what direction they were supposed to go. I don't know if Roman's supposed to go have a face turn after that. I don't know if he was still going to be a heel, because everybody's still loving Brock as this new character that he's doing, So
Gary, do you think Seth is trying to emulate his wife and get both titles in one? Is it like husband like wife?
It's quite possible, man. I mean, this is probably the most believable opponent that Roman's had in months. So I think it's very intriguing. And finally, WWE does something that really intrigues my interest for a title match. I would love Seth to win it. Now, will it become, Seth to Belso? Man, I don't think so. Because they're really, really still high on Roman. But there's a possibility that, again, maybe he will lose now that he's surpassed the most days of being champion. That now that he passed Brock, so that's a possibility. I mean, I've been saying this time and time again. Like, if you have no direction for this whole story, with Roman Reigns being the tribal chief, with his bloodline brothers, all this stuff, if it's going to be the same stuff time and time again, it's really, really going to start getting stale. To me, it's really getting stale like a Pringle chip, man. It's not doing it for me anymore. They really need to change the scheme of things. And
Agreed.
Well, and just remember, he was a double champ in 2015, 2018, and 2019. Just so y'all know. But I have a feeling that maybe Seth will have something against Roman where, like, I don't know if Roman has ever beaten Seth, honestly, for a title match. So, I mean, they could easily do that as a story,
yeah,
I mean,
never know.
yeah, it's certainly a point, but of course, if he was to pull off the upset and take the title off Roman Reigns, of course, he'd be taking the Universal title over to Monday Night Raw, which then could suggest that Brock Lesnar could be going back to Friday nights to Fox, and that obviously could then be influenced by Fox's money that attracted Brock Lesnar to sort of come back, and that could then be an interesting move to see Brock back on a Friday, maybe facing off against Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Drew McIntyre and the like on Friday.
No. I'm sorry, no.
I'm saying no.
No. I mean, I would love it, but for a fact that it's going to be Brock and Roman. There's just, it's just like with WWE, it's just like they're trying to just tell this damn story of getting Roman over with Brock. I mean, it's tiring, it's stupid. I mean, it kind of got interesting now this year after with the whole Roman heel turn and stuff. So, and Brock with his new character, but I don't know.
And plus, we've seen this.
Yeah,
we've seen it before. Yeah,
we've seen this 100 times.
I don't know whether you guys should check out the promo between Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Their history in that tag team of the Shield. There was a very big gap in the middle. I don't know who could possibly fit in that gap. You could park a bus in it. It was WWE being its absolute worst. But on the other hand, you talk about who could step up to Brock Lesnar. If only there was somebody around to take him on.
I would love to see that, man. Absolutely. But
everybody no. I would like to see Walter. I don't know about this guy.
No. And Luke, what if they do in fact go to the UK in August for possibly a SummerSlam in the UK, and then all of a sudden we see him in a big spot match?
Let's keep it down. Keep it down. For all I know, next week Brock Lesnar could come out as Chunky Monkey. Like that's the WWE we're living in. Anyway, final word on WWE before we go over to the other side. What's next for Kevin Owens? He is obviously with his contract extension agreed and him being involved in the company, him declaring for the Rumble could be a genuine contender to pull off an upset. It's certainly been coming for him that a Rumble win is in his career. Could 2022 be his year?
For Kevin, I truly believe so. I mean, you get obviously there must have been something like to sweeten the pot for his new contract, so I really believe that there's something promising for KO. And anybody that knows me, I've always loved Owens. Right now he just defeated Damian Priest on Raw, so clearly he's going to get a number one contendership for that US title, and that's a start, man, of 2022 for the year of KO. I really, really, really hope so.
Do you remember the stuff with the United States of Owens? 2016, 2017? Oh, my goodness gracious. That was him and Jericho did some fire, but him having the US title was superb.
No. I think for Kevin Owens, I think he still wants that tag team title because he wants to have that Grand Slam championship, moniker on his what is it? On his
Resume.
Tombstone, whatever. What is that called? Whatever. Anyways, so he wants to win it with Sami Zayn. So I'm thinking that's what it is. I think he wants to win tag team belts. I mean, I wouldn't mind him winning the U.S. belt again. Him versus Damian Priest would be a good match. I mean, they had a good match last Monday, so
We'll see. We'll certainly see about that. Let's make a very apt and very prominent segue then. It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. It is Dynamite time. But Cody Rhodes, is he the hottest free agent right now?
I think so.
Gary, could
we
be seeing Cody Rhodes unthinkably as TNT champion just as Mickey James goes over to the Rumble as Impact Knockouts champion? Could we be seeing the TNT champion at the Royal Rumble?
Guys, after digesting this, obviously this either is going to be a story or possibly Cody could be really on his way out. I don't think Cody's going to go on his way out. I mean, he's got Rose at the top, go Big Show. He's got more money that he probably would get offered from WWE at this point. I mean, damn, dude, he has his creative freedom. From what I understand, he's still an EVP, So here's what I think that should happen. Obviously, Cody's returning tonight. And Cody, he comes out with Sammy Guevara and even Tony Khan. For the first time ever, we're going to see a Tony Khan appearance on live TV. Actually, second time. And we're going to see Cody do a little bit of the handing over the torch to Sammy Guevara. And he thanks Tony Khan. And next thing you know, we see the ultimate heel turn from Cody. That is what I would love to see. Shove the boss down, That is something that would really, really solidify him turning heel. I think it would be beautifully done if he does that. But with so many matches on the card tonight, I don't know if they will fit that in there, but that's something I would do.
He's going to try to fit himself in it. Come on.
I'm just being nice. This really, really had people talking. And again, if it is indeed a story, smart booking by AEW. Because it's getting Dynamite talk tonight for sure. People can hate Cody all they want, but damn well, dude, they're all going to tune in to see what Cody does. Mm-hmm. And I'm all for it tonight. I'm really curious to see what they do.
For sure. And obviously, he is essentially a founding father of All Elite Wrestling. And,
exactly.
Go all the way back to All In 2018. I mean, it would be beyond sensational to see him come back, especially at the Rumble. But where he had the TNT Championship in his hand, where they've crowned Sammy Guevara as the interim champion, obviously that leads to a natural progression of a unification ladder match or some kind of stipulation match, maybe down for Revolution in March. But it has got people talking, and when you got people talking, you're going to get views. And I think certainly the numbers when they come out later in the week for Dynamite should be high because everyone is waiting to see what is going to happen next with Cody Rhodes. There's so much fun.
I think I have an idea what he's going to do. I think he's going to take the Matt Cardona route. Just go to GCW.
Go to GCW.
Hey, they have Jeff Jarrett right now, so come on now.
I'm watching that pay-per-view anyway, so.
I mean, come on. I never expected Jeff Jarrett to come back for that, so come on. And he's seeing what Matt Cardona's doing in GCW. I wouldn't be surprised to be like, look, I need to have a free contract or something. Let me be free, because I think he's trying to do is I mean, I would love Stardust to come back somehow at the Rumble, but but it's not going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Okay. So WWE, let's just put that to the side. I mean, look, he can go back to NWA if he wants to, he doesn't have to face the heavyweight title in AEW, but he could face the NWA heavyweight title. He had that before. I mean, he he could maybe try to help out Ring of Honor and like reset up. We're waiting until April just to see what new branding.
Look, we can fantasy book for hours, Orlando. Let's try and keep it on the ground.
I'm just saying, like, there's like some possibilities for this. I mean, like the heel turn, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think he's just gonna be the John Cena of AEW. I'm just thinking he's probably gonna enjoy like maybe some freedom to go somewhere else.
And
if I continue to let you fantasy book Orlando, in 30 seconds time he'll be in AAA, and within 2 minutes you'll have him on Gore TV showing up with next to Mickey James. That would be your fantasy book in Orlando.
With Brandy and the baby, of course.
Guys, if you think about it too, like maybe they can portray what CM Punk did at Money in the Bank 2011. He walks away with the title, and next thing you know, he's shutting down everybody, and he's been doing that quite well on Twitter for once. So I'm telling you, man, like, obviously I pay attention a lot with AEW, and Cody said a couple weeks ago that he's going to give everybody a ride that they will not forget. So again, that was a couple weeks ago, and here he is this week. Yeah. I think that ride's going to start going, and I'm very excited.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, Sammy is still in Brazil, so I don't think he's going to be on tonight. I'll be surprised if they were able to make a flight to where are they going to be at tonight? Washington D.C., right? I think.
Yes, Washington D.C.
I'd be surprised if they were able to make a flight to Washington D.C.
Well, I have a meet and greet with them on the 6th of February in Albany, New York, so they better come back from
No. They'll be back. No, I think they'll be back. It's just only this week that they're off.
Yeah.
Because like the last time I checked, she was still posting that they were still in Brazil. So her and Sammy and Ty Conti,
For sure.
So cute of a couple, right?
From one return to the other, and this is a more positive and hopefully a more welcomed return. He's the Wild Thing. He means everything. Groovy, baby. Welcome back after a long time out, an honourable time out. Jon Moxley is back in the fold, baby.
I'm just wondering who is he going to be facing now.
So when he left off, he was feuding with.
He was supposed to go after the belt. He was supposed to go after the number one contender. I mean, I wouldn't mind a Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley. I don't think we ever seen that match, or it's been a while for that match. But I mean, do you think he'll probably defend the honor of Eddie Kingston because, unfortunately Eddie's injured?
Thinking about this too, like with Moxley, for once I'm going to be a little negative on this, even though we're thinking about the positives here. I really wish AEW would have kept that a big secret. Let him come back and just get the
it wasn't AEW, it was GCW's fault. I think they played their hand first, and that he'll be at the Hammerstein Ballroom in a couple of days' time.
That's fair.
That then led to he obviously was rumored to come back before then, and obviously here he is in DC. So I don't think there's so much the blame can be left on All Elite Wrestling because we already knew he'd be defending the GCW title on Saturday. So.
They could just still did a surprise. Like that was GCW. Like he could have still came tonight and surprised everybody.
Yeah, that's true.
But but I get I get your point, Luke. It's just like it was GCW that announced it because I think he wanted to come back, so I think he has to defend the belt. So
right, and I think his first feud, I do agree with Orlando. I think it should be Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson. Obviously, things come up. People have to do the right thing to get them in, away from their habits, like Moxley had, nearly 3 months ago. But yeah, I would love to see him and Danielson. Just the history that they have, and I don't think Moxley has beaten Danielson. I think, or vice versa.
Well, okay. If you're talking about in WWE, I don't know about that, but they haven't really faced each other in outside of WWE. Wait, no. I think they had one match. It was like a while back, but But this is kind of like brand new though, so I'm thinking like they're kind of like even right now. So it's just like, so I wouldn't mind like Brian Danielson criticizing it with his whole alcoholism, because like he's a dick as he is.
Ooh, ooh, that would be brutal, but it would really,
He's gonna bring that up. Oh, I can't wait.
but it would get good heat more than ever for Danielson.
I
But
have
that
never
would be
missed a
perfect.
day of my life. I've always had my matches. Don't matter. Something like that. How he's gonna speak. I love this heel version of Brian Danielson. I just love it.
Oh, I do too, man. It's absolute gold.
I
It,
know.
it,
It was like it was sudden. It was like a switch. I was like, oh my god, what is this?
we're turning back the clock, but obviously it's all the heel turn that WWE failed to pull the trigger on 10 years ago when he was going through the whole no heel turn, obviously taking the title off Mark Henry and then that all run
No,
that
it
winter.
was successful. It's just that unfortunately people liked the whole yes and no chance, and that got over. So
Then Team Hell No, and then
yeah,
18 seconds, and then
of course,
naturally let build to one of
exactly.
the greatest WrestleMania moments of all time.
It wasn't Daniel Bryan's fault. It was just that the crowd was really behind the whole chanting stuff that they liked. Like it's the whole what thing. It's like when Stone Cold Steve Austin was a heel and he was doing the what, people are
What?
still doing the what chant. Yeah,
What?
exactly. Yeah.
We still do that.
What?
I remember going to a live show like
What?
where the security was like saying like it's like, okay, everybody do form a line. Everyone's like, what?
What? Yeah.
But you get what I mean. It's just like, it's because it's catchy, it's like, innovative, kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. For
Mhm.
sure. Let's run down the card that we'll be seeing on Dynamite tonight, as well as John Moxley and Cody Rhodes' return. A fairly strong lineup that we could be seeing. CM Punk versus Shawn Spears. I mean, you can guess how many stars Dave Meltzer could be given this one. I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be
Yeah.
good.
No.
Maybe 10 chair shots to Shawn Spears from Wardlow for his birthday, because it's Wardlow's birthday today. There we go. But obviously I don't think that's going to happen until finally next week in Cleveland, in Wardlow's hometown. So, but yeah,
He's
this
gonna
match,
he's gonna first beat the living shit out of Shawn Spears. Then he's gonna go after MJF. So I'm thinking that's
yes,
what's gonna happen. So
yes.
I'm thinking in this match, CM Punk of course is gonna win, and
Mm-hmm.
Shawn Spears is gonna almost feel the wrath of Warlow, but not yet until maybe next week.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Serena Deeb goes one-on-one against Sky Blue. Could this be the time that Sky Blue gets a licking against one of the best female wrestlers in AEW?
Nope. Sorry. Serena, no. Like, not knocking Sky Blue, but Serena Deeb is like in another level right now. Like, I feel like she's technically the best women's wrestler right now in AEW. So I think she needs this one. So
Yeah, I do agree with that too. But I would like to see Tony Khan throw a curveball and really get Sky Blue that upset victory. But we all know we all know what happened last time when Sky Blue was in a match. She lost in like 3 minutes to Jade Cargill. So, but yeah, we shall see. But yeah, I don't think Serena's going to lose either.
mhm.
Yeah, it's certainly contradictory, of course, to a big female match at Revolution, but also, again, as we've seen with the TBS title, it's going to be an interesting one to see. A tag team match that should be very, very interesting, of course. FTR versus Brock Anderson and Lee Johnson. We're seeing Arn Anderson versus Tully Blanchard. I mean, come on.
So I think FTR is clearly going to win. No brainer here.
Mhm.
However, just thinking about this when that match got announced, I thought about it today. And I was talking to one of my AW faithfuls that I like to call on my AW page. I think we're finally going to see the debut of the Briscoes because they are from the Maryland area. So let's finally get that going, guys. And there's an open challenge for the Briscoes
Oh, yeah,
at the GCW event anyway. So let's get this thing
Well,
going.
that would be a perfect way to like have them like answer that open challenge FTR. So yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be one to keep an eye on. Sting and Darby Allin go against Acclaimed in the other big tag team action of the night.
Sorry, Acclaim, but you're getting defeated by Darby and Sting.
Isn't it interesting that it's rumored that Darby Allin is taking part in the new Jackass Forever film, which I've seen trailers this week. I definitely want to go see in cinema, even though it's being promoted in the Royal Rumble from Johnny Knoxville of all people.
Hey.
But certainly to speak for Darby Allin, do they keep him strong in this time?
Of course, he's about to be a movie star. Going to give him more views for. Going to help AEW get some more views. So I mean, I wouldn't,
I never knew Darby was in a movie, to be quite honest. So shows how much I know about Darby, and I love the guy. I think the Acclaim should actually kind of win here because if rankings mean something, they're number one tag team, and I don't think the Acclaim should get this loss. Because to me, the Acclaimed are just going to be stuck there in the tag team division, unfortunately. So get Jurassic Express their, upcoming, tag team title feud with those two, with the Acclaimed. So, and plus, it just, this whole, we got Black History Month coming up next month. So you really want to elevate, that conversation that I know it's a touchy subject for people. So, because of all this, I really think the Acclaim should kind of win here.
Interesting point there.
Interesting.
By Gary. I wondered what would be your take on this one. The feud that none of us knew we wanted, but now we've got it. We're having it. It's a continuation of Orange Cassidy and Adam Cole in mixed tag team action. It's Cole and Baker versus Cassidy and Statlander.
I hope this puts Statlander in the mix of possibly Britt's title at Revolution, because damn it, Stat really needs a title. Unfortunately, I don't see Stat or Orange winning this at all. I mean, this is Baker's and Cole's first match together, so they're going to make it special, and I see this being the main event, and they're going to win.
Ooh, okay, I like that. Yeah, I could see them doing like kind of like what's it called? They're gonna do the same moves together, and they're gonna be all lovey-dovey and stuff. So I can see Cole and Britt winning this.
Yeah,
it's very much couples love on in that match tonight.
Darby bored you.
Which way it could go, and of course, we talk about a night of returns, but it is one big debut as part of the House of Black. Brody King makes his in-ring debut for All Elite Wrestling with Malachi Black against Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. Obviously, the result can only go one way, but how far can Brody King go in AEW?
Oh no, he could go very far. He's a giant of a man, If they use him right, that's the thing. I mean, like right now, he just wants to team with Malachi Black. So I'm thinking they're gonna. Well, I could see them easily facing the tag champions. I mean, Jurassic Express. I mean, like Luchasaurus versus Brody King. Ooh, those big men. Ooh, that's some meaty men right there.
Well, all I know, something's going to happen, and when you think Pillman or, Griff is going to try to get the victory, we're going to see finally Julia Hart turn on them, and there she is with the House of Black. It's got to happen.
Yep, I can see it. It's like I was like waiting for it because I think it's happening. It's little subtly, but it's gonna happen. I think.
People think it's Pac for the next one. No, it's gonna be Julia Hart.
No, I don't think it's Julia. Yeah, I don't think it's Pac either.
We'll see. We'll see what happens on there, but certainly a stacked card as always on Wednesday night. AEW Dynamite to tune into, and finally tonight with a tear in my eye. This is the greatest moment of my life. It is 30 years tonight since Ric Flair went from number 3 to win arguably one of the best Royal Rumbles of all time. I mean, Gary, I'll start with you. Is 1992 the best Royal Rumble for you of all time?
Ooh. I'm probably gonna say no on that. To me, my favorite probably would be the one Triple H won in 2002, or even the one in '98 where Austin won, because that was the peak of the Attitude Era, in my opinion, with Stone Cold in '98. So one of those two for sure. But I don't see the '92 Rumble.
Do you think it certainly has defamed and very much a tainted Rumble to watch? Obviously, what we know in the last 6 months about Ric Flair, I was talking to Orlando about this just before we came on to air, that because Ric Flair was at the top of his game at a time where the title was held up due to Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker having dusty finishes back-to-back at Survivor Series and this Tuesday in Texas, that we did have this open Rumble like we did in 2016 and what they should have pulled the trigger on. But for Flair to come from number 3 as the alleged world champion, obviously WCW world champion, and you had the belt with him, and Bobby Heenan was showing it off on television. But anyway, for him to come from number 3 and take it all the way and put in a stellar performance, do you just have to concede and argue that's one of the best performances of all time?
Oh yeah, of course. It's just the unfortunate thing is just that with what happened with because they didn't actually pull off the trigger of like Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan in WWF.
Of course not.
It's like that right there would have been like millions of dollars right there. So that was tainted because of that. Of course, I don't think anybody had a problem with Ric Flair versus Macho Man. So.
I
But
was doing some research, Orlando, on that and where they ended up at WrestleMania. We did, of course, get Ric Flair against Randy Savage, which was a good match, a very much a underrated match on the card. We got The Undertaker against Jake the Snake Roberts, but then we got Hulk Hogan against Sid. So let's look at the real losers of that one. But certainly if they pull the trigger at the Hoosier Dome, imagine the main event of Hogan against Flair in their prime. That would have been astronomically one of the best matches of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Actually thinking about it now, I think, I'm going to change my pick around. I'm going to actually say the 2004 Royal Rumble, and I know people will probably think,
Oh no! Everybody, no! I think there will be a lot of people that will agree with you in regards about that. So yeah.
Yeah, because Chris, man, he really just
went from number 1.
Yeah, exactly, all the way to the end, and the rewards showed at WrestleMania 20, man. So
He did.
Yeah, no, because like everybody has said, like unfortunately with the winner, Chris Benoit, it's just like kind of tainted because of that. But that's a different circumstance. Where with Ric Flair, he's just a dick, and he's been a dick for over 50 years. So
true.
So it's just like now he's unfortunately right now he's just like a nasty dick. But anyway.
Yeah. And with that, we'll wrap it there. My thanks, of course, to your friend and mine, Orlando, and of course the AEW King himself, Mr. Gary Joe. You can check him out on his Are You Elite page. I have been Luke Anthony Walsh. We're joining next week for the latest episode of Bucklebomb Entertainment.
Bye bye, y'all.
Take care, guys.